Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing my November recap, so I'm just going to talk about all the books that I read during the month of November. And there were quite a few of them. I had a pretty good reading month. I read 5 books. I listened to 2 audiobooks. I'm currently reading 1 book and listening to 1 audiobook. So I'll go through those and let you guys know what I thought briefly. I have reviews of some of them, so I'll post those in the thing up here. You can check those out if you want. But the first book that I read this month was Piranesi by Susanna Clark. This book was awesome. I really, really liked it. I do have a review of this, so if you want to check that out, I will link it up here, and you can just check that out. The next book that I read this month was The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. Again, this book was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I have a review of this one too, so I'll go ahead and put that one up here if you want to check it out. But man, just an awesome war book. It was great. The next book is the Star Wars Trilogy. This is, I guess, 3 books kind of in one omnibus or whatever. But yeah, I read this and it was great. It's basically the movies novelizations. So if you've seen the movies, you probably don't need to read these. But I wanted to get these read because I have plans to read the Thrawn trilogy, which takes place after these. And so I'll talk about that maybe a little bit more once I get to my TBR section at the end of the video. But it was pretty good. I didn't hate it. Next is Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter. This is the second book in the Burning series. The first book is The Rage of Dragons and is an amazing book. This book was also amazing. I do have a review of this, so I will post that up here if you want to check that out. But yeah, it's fucking just really good fantasy. All right, and then the last book that I read this month is The Burning God. This is another fantasy novel. This is the 3rd book in the Poppy War trilogy. So it's a conclusion, and it is very, very good. I really enjoyed it. The whole series is great. And I just finished it a couple days ago, so I'm still working on a review. I should have that up here in the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that. Alright, so that was all the books I read. Next, I'm going to talk about audiobooks that I listened to. If you've watched these recaps before, you'll know that generally I only listen to audiobooks of books that I've already read. And that's because of I usually listen to them in the car, and if I get distracted or whatever, zone out for a second, like I don't want to have to go back or miss something. So if it's a book I've already read, I pretty much, I don't have to worry about that too much. But it is nice for rereads. The first audiobook that I listened to this month was Wolves of the Kala. It's the 5th book in the Dark Tower series. It's fantastic. I'm, getting my way through. I'm waiting on I've got a hold at the library for book 6. So I'm waiting on that basically until I can continue. So the next audiobook that I listened to was Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris. This is a great book. I am trying to go through this series again. I read or listened to Red Dragon, I don't know, a month or 2 ago. And yeah, so I'm just waiting on these books at the library basically. As soon as they become available, then I listen to them. But Silence of the Lambs is really, really good. And the movie is amazing as well. So check this out. If you haven't read this series, you really should. All 3 of them are really good. Don't worry about Hannibal Rising is kind of not good, so I'd skip that one. But the main 3 are awesome. So that was it for the audiobooks that I listened to this month. What am I reading right now? Basically, I've got 1 novel and I've got 1 audiobook. The novel is The Green Mile by Stephen King, and actually, he released it as a serial novel in 6 parts, so there's 6 of them, and I actually found these at a secondhand store, and they were 50 cents each. It was awesome. I couldn't believe I found this. He has released them all in 1 volume. I don't have a copy of that, unfortunately. But these serve just fine, and I'm on. I just started part 4 out of 6, so I'm like halfway through, and it's really good. And then the audiobook that I'm listening to right now, which is actually I broke my rule. This is not a reread. This is actually a book that I've never read before. I was waiting on the next Dark Tower book. I was waiting on the next Hannibal Lecter book, and there wasn't really any other rereads that were available at the time, and so I just found this book. It was available. It's You by Catherine Kempness, I think is her name. I'm not sure. Yes, it is good, and I have not seen the show, so I don't know what's going to happen. But so far so good. I'm a little more than halfway through it, and it's pretty weird. So yeah, and I'm not falling victim to inattention as much as I maybe thought I might. Maybe it's just that it has to be something that really grabs me, and this one has been really just making me mad. So that's maybe good. That's it. That's what I got going on right now. Plans for December. I don't really have any plans. I'm going to finish the books I'm reading currently, but then after that, I don't really know. I don't have, there's no books coming out that I really want to read, necessarily. And my TBR is so freaking long that, I could just, who knows? I could read any book, and it would be progress. So, but one thing that I do want to, focus on... 2021, I really want to finish my Stephen King read through. I want to finish all those books. I got about 20 left. So maybe I'll just focus on that for the rest of the year. Just read some Stephen King. I like to take breaks, though, every once in a while, so maybe I'll pepper in a few other things. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that was what I read here in November. Really appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff, if you want to stay up to date on, everything that's going on here at the channel. That's it. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.